Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Design in DeFi. Today we're gonna actually talk about Uniswap. Last time I think we've covered Coinbase, and I just thought today would be a good time to have a conversation about Uniswap, going from centralized exchange to decentralized exchange, and kind of seeing a few of the design things that Uniswap has over here. So yeah, let's just get into it and see where this goes. So we have Uniswap here. They're announcing version 3 right now, which is quite cool. I've kind of briefly went through it. So yeah, so just as a new user, let's get into it. Use Uniswap. This directly takes us to their main interface, which is swapping. So basically you will swap from a token to the other. So kind of the first thing that catches my eye here as someone who wants to perform a swap, so is the fact that you get an indicator of what you would need to do next. Here I have enter an amount, and it's quite cool that they actually use the button placeholder as something that you get an indication about what you need to do next from interacting with the button placeholder. This is like a really small detail. It's very subtle. But what it tells me as a designer is the fact that this platform is serious about design. Why it tells me that? Because the things that matter the most are in the subtle details, such as this. It's if this platform focuses on subtle details, such as telling me enter an amount in the placeholder, it means that they've taken the time to look in a lot of corners that probably other platforms have not looked at. So that's just one thing that I get from this, right? So the next thing I want to be doing, which kind of looks directly here, is like select a token. Going to be doing just that. It says that from my Ether, which my balance is actually 0, I would be swapping to, I need to select a token to be swapping into that, right? Immediately I see another model coming. I really like the fact that they don't take you to a new page. It just, you have a model appearing, you have a list of tokens that you would be able to select from. I'm gonna choose Uni. Tells my Uni balance right here. Let's say in this case, I would be, swapping Uni to Ether because I'm bullish on Ether. So that's kind of the use case I'm going to, right? Immediately, you would see also the button placeholder, which is quite interesting. It's changed from select token to enter an amount. And I think that's quite cool because, again, it gives you a clear indicator of what you need to do next. So I'm gonna actually click here because this is the first indicator that it tells me that in order to swap Uni for Ether, I would need to kind of swap this over. So I click here. It goes from it takes the Uni from to from, and yeah, now I see I have the max here. So let's say I would like to do 600. Cool. So now I have like a whole bunch more detail in this interface. I get the swap button being active. I have here minimum received, price impact, and liquidity provider fee, right? As a new user, it's very interesting because I have kind of all these tooltips here. So if I want to know more like minimum receive, I hover over it, it just tells me the details. So your transaction will revert if there is a large unfavorable price movement before it is confirmed. What I like about this is that it actually works. So the tooltip actually works as opposed to Coinbase tooltips. If we just quickly go on Coinbase and I click convert all, yeah, their tooltips don't work. It's just like they're for fun. I hover over it, it just like probably takes me to another page, which I have to look at their exchange rate. I don't care about that. I want to get the information from here. What I like about Uni and why I give it points is that their tooltips actually work. It tells you what this means if you want to know what this means. What I don't like about this is that it doesn't give you more information if you want to know about it more. So let's say I'm a new user and yeah, it says here the difference between the market price and the estimated price due to trade size. All right, I want to know more details about that. What does that mean? What is the, why is there a difference between the market price and the estimated trade price? Like why is there a difference? Like I want to know that. So in order to know that, I would not probably know everything from this tooltip. So I would want to have a link here that takes me to a page in which I can find out more. So similar as Coinbase here, you click here and it takes you to a different page where you see all the exchange rate. They've actually used this because they want to kind of, they don't want to tell you a lot about their exchange rate. But just giving the user like a bit of information here, if they want to know more, you go to an extra page. I think that is a really good experience. Another thing that I really like and why I feel like they focused a bit more on subtle details is the fact that if you like really go deep, you would see like the tooltip actually has an extra element around it, which is kind of a circle, right? Like it's very subtle, you don't see it. Why I think they've added that is because they kind of wanted it to draw even more attention to the tooltip, but not too much. Like just add a subtle element around it so that you would attract people's attention to it. So yeah, so that's a bit about their tooltips. I like the way they're using it. I think it's really cool. So I get a bunch of information here. I get the minimum received, the price impact, and I get a thing called the liquidity provider fee. It tells me a bit of information about that, which is fine. What I like to know more here as a new user, because I don't get information on that, is actually the slippage. So if I go here, I'm going to get a slippage tolerance, 0.5%. I can interact with it and put it to 1%. I get a bit more information here. But what I really want to know here is the slippage directly from these, from here. And as a new user, I might want to know about that. I might want to know information about that. And I need to kind of go here and assume this would be about slippage, assume what slippage actually is, because it doesn't tell me. It tells me something, but maybe I want more information about that. So slippage is actually a big thing, and as a new user, you would want to see it here. You don't want to like go and interact with it from all the way right here at the top. That's my assumption about what they've done here. And one thing, one other platform, which is Zerion. Zerion is actually platform which you actually see all your assets, but it also allows you to perform swaps, and also it uses Uniswap as well. What I like about them is that, here it shows price slippage. You can hover over it. It tells you that the transaction is the price change so it tells you about this directly here, and then by clicking here, right, it shows you that that element is interactive, and you click there and you can set out the slippage directly from here. You don't need to actually assume that you have kind of a settings button and what that setting button would do. You don't need to assume that. You already can actually click here and go there. So yeah. Another thing I want to see here after I see the liquidity provider fee is actually the network fee, which I actually don't see here. But all right, let's go to swap. Let's actually click swap and see what happens. So confirming swap, it shows me quite clearly what will happen, converting my Uni to Ether. And it tells me a lot, like this output is estimated, you would receive 8.2 or the transaction will revert, which is quite interesting. So it tells me that as a new user. It tells me also the price. And I think these are the same kind of transactions, same kind of information as before. I like the fact that it also, if the price updates, it gives you notification. So the user experience in terms of that is what I like. What I don't like here is the fact that I don't get the network fee directly from here. So in order to understand what the network fee is, I need to confirm the swap, and it takes me to my MetaMask. And then it tells me that the network fee is 17, which, by the way, it's quite low. I haven't seen it this low in a long time. So anyway, you need to understand the gas fee by actually clicking on the button, which actually adds friction to the user, as opposed to Zerion, which actually it's quite fast because you have the network fee, and it tells you the network fee here. So it is possible to also, for Uniswap, to also show you the network fee here. And I think it would add a lot to the user because you don't need to click on the certain button and then go and see the network fee and then come back and do all that. So I do feel that is something they should have here, right? If I have all that, I would get a better understanding of what I'm doing here, of my trade. One more thing I want to add here is the fact that you have the liquidity provider fee, which is 1.8 Uni. You can calculate that. Let's say Uni is at 25 euros right now. You can calculate that and kind of understand what's that fee, even though maybe I would like to kind of know that right from the get-go, like just make a small like hover over it and like say, yeah, that amounts, this amount of dollars or this amount of euros, just to, don't do that calculation. But that's fine, don't need to actually do that. Another thing what I like about is TransferWise, actually it's called Wise right now, and I've mentioned this before, and the way they do design. So Wise, what they do is like, it's cool because you add like $1,000, it tells you the actual fee, and then it tells you the amount you're going to convert, the amount they're going to convert. So they subtract that fee from the amount that you've added here. It tells you the amount that they're going to convert. So that's a cool thing because I would like to see this here as well. So I'm adding 600. It tells me the fee, but also I want to see like, okay, we'll convert like 600 minus 1.8. This is the amount we're going to convert, right? It's just like, it's that extra care towards the user, that extra thing that, you're making things easier for the user to understand because you're kind of providing information in a better order from a hierarchy standpoint. So that's what I like about what Wise did here, as opposed to what Uniswap is doing here. They're just like adding 1.8 Uni. it's fine, you can add that, but it's cool to kind of show the user that you're actually taking that 1.8 uni from the actual amount that you've added here. It's just eliminating that confusion. We're taking that 1.8 uni from here. We're just going to convert, what is it, like 598.2. It's all good, but just tell me that information. I don't need to, figure it out. Just tell that to me. And then tell me the network fee. Tell me what the network fee is. So I have all the details I need here. And the last thing, let me set up my my slippage tolerance from here. Don't let me assume that the wheel here or the gear here is actually the slippage tolerance. I'm gonna click there, but slippage tolerance is actually an important thing, and I want to see it from here as a new user, and I want to get more detail on that, not just these tooltips right here. So these are my thoughts on Uniswap. These are my thoughts on what they're doing right now. Obviously, this is version 2. They're going to come up with version 3, I think, in 2 weeks from now, maybe even less. Curious what they're going to come up. But yeah, they're things I like, and they're things that I don't like, and I think that they can improve on. And they're things that, other platforms are doing better. And I gave those examples. So, I hope that you learned something from this. If there's any other platforms that you feel I should be reviewing, or if you feel I should be seeing, drop those in the comments below. And see you for next video.